Thank you very much indeed, Kerry, and I'm delighted to share the story of Sri Lanka's first rural BPO. But first let me begin with the island of ingenuity. Sri Lanka is called a hidden gem for outsourcing, uniquely positioned to offer highly skilled talent and a strong business environment. And the New York Times had this quote: Southern China has its assembly plants, India its customer support centers, and what does Sri Lanka contribute? Accountants, thousands of them, including UK qualified accountants. So something I often say: beautiful country, boring people. It's been ranked very highly by multiple bodies, including the GSA. GSA's outsourcing destination of the year 2013, 14, and 2019. Also by World Bank Group, World Economic Forum, and several others. And a little known fact is that several leading international brand names, including HSBC, London Stock Exchange, they have their centers in Sri Lanka or are serviced by Sri Lankan companies. Aviva, I think we have a representative here from Aviva. IFS has its main research center in Colombo. So many big global brand names serviced from Sri Lanka. Now coming to Infomate, to provide some context of what my company does. So we were Sri Lanka's first ever shared service. It's a subsidiary of Sri Lanka's largest listed conglomerate called the Jehan Group, which is a company of British origin, 150 years. And what we do is what Paul described, and I quote, a boring old finance BPO. So that's us. So we do a lot of SAP-based accounting, QuickBooks, Zero, end-to-end accounting, procure to pay, bank reconciliations, and several others. Now coming to the case study of the first rural BPO. So this was the village of Mahavilachi, a very rural hamlet in the north-central province of Sri Lanka. It borders one of the large national parks. And in this most unlikely of places, it's very, very rural hamlet. This was in fact Chris, my road to Damascus, the road to Mahavilachi. If you were to step in there, suddenly you will find an alien node, a modern building. And if you were to step inside, you would find boys and girls working on SAP. And they would be processing transactions for leading Colombo-based hotels and supermarkets and so many others. Right? So it's an amazing contrast. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the country's first rural BPO. Let me skip through this. So today they have 15 associates. It's been in place for over 15 years, right? And they handle 54 functions on SAP. They handle over 650,000 transactions per annum. And if you look at the KPIs, they achieve truly world-class statistics. So these include accuracy score of 99.87, turnaround time in excess of 90%, very high productivity. And in fact, their productivity, their commitment sometimes exceeds our own in Colombo. So very, very talented rural kids. And 90% of those employed are women. So the breakthrough idea and the concept was where Infomate acted as a shared services center for the companies, 60 companies of the Jehan Group. And they would subcontract or they would outsource work to us. And as a shared services center, we would then subcontract some of the functions to On Time Private Limited, which is the BPO unit. It is a separate registered company, and interestingly, it was owned by the associates. So not owned by us, the associates themselves own this company. So they had two revenue streams. They had the per piece transaction rate, and they also had dividends on the profit at the end of each year. They are audited by KPMG. So we got a very robust model going, and the fact that it has lasted 15 years shows that it is sustainable. And the vision at the time was to promote poverty alleviation in villages by providing sustainable employment. Right? So it's not, as John said, it's not charity, but you are providing sustainable employment. You're training them, and importantly, they can work in their own village. So that they don't need to relocate to the big city. You send work to them. And then develop a model that could be replicated in other villages of Sri Lanka, providing capacity for the BPO growth. Now we have about 25,000 people working in the BPO industry in Sri Lanka, and we think that it can double in 2 to 3 years, and we need capacity. So we were able to replicate the project in the tsunami-affected village of Sinigama, right in the south of Sri Lanka. That's a place that is, in fact, Muralidharan, the record-breaking cricketer, he's a patron of that. They've done some great work in charity, and it's been supported by a lot of international cricketers, including the late great Shane Warne. So we worked with them. We started with 2 associates. We quickly scaled up. We have now 12 years in operation, 15 associates, very, very intelligent kids. So much so that Keys Hotels, when they had vacancies, they recruited from Senegal. Again, we have, you can see a majority are women. Then we replicated it in war-torn Jaffna. Now, Jaffna came out of a 30-year war in the north of the country. So this was the Tamil community that was disenfranchised for many years. So we did a BPO project there, and a lot of those employed were ex-combatants, including one conscripted child soldier. They work on 20 functions, and what we found is that discipline is extraordinary. When they come in on time, they leave on time, they're very focused on their work. And we were very proud that, if you talk of this girl, Shanika, was a conscripted child soldier. Today she's married, she's a main income breadwinner for her family. They are very, very happy with what they are doing. They're reintegrated into society. So we not only provide work and training, but we celebrate anniversaries. We build relationships. We celebrate milestones. We invite them annually to Colombo, to one of our leading hotels. And I'll just play this quick clip because it's very touching. It's in Tamil, but you can see the stories in the subtitles. So it has provided an equal opportunity employment. It's an important part of our ESG initiative. And some of the achievements: sustainable employment for 50 youth, and over 200 have passed through over the 10 years. Opportunity to work from their homes, so family units are kept intact. Women's employment and empowerment. An alternate career to military and farming, which is the only career options available to them. The opportunity to work in a city environment, with ACs and computers, and get trained. And a lot of them, after working with us, have moved on to good private sector and government sector jobs. A higher percentage of savings that they've been able to keep for their families. The first time we went there, we found that they walked to office. The next time we went there after some years, we found they were cycling in. And when we went after some time, we found a row of motorbikes. You can see how their lifestyle has improved. Family units kept intact. And it also provides very, very useful knowledge for the expansion of the BPO industry in Sri Lanka. So at a national level, we feel the project demonstrates the capability of rural youth if given an opportunity. And the power of the BPO industry to create jobs. And a true example of a sustainable project. So it's not charity, everyone wins. Our company gained lower attrition, lower costs, they gain through employment, savings, ability to work from home. So everyone wins in this. So some of our partners who have supported us over the years. And impact sourcing. This achieves all the benefits of traditional BPM, access to talent, quality, lower cost, but it also creates a positive social impact. So here's a little more on impact sourcing. Costs and performances comparable to traditional BPOs, but attrition rates are lower, costs are lower, and it benefits economically disadvantaged, low-income areas who have a lack of access to jobs. And this segment of BPO is growing at an even faster rate than the entire industry, in fact, sourcing. So thank you very, very much. It's been an absolute privilege. And it's very